Hello, everybody.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday. I feel like I've been on every major network today. It's been a good Thursday. Happy Women's History Month to each and every one of you. Tonight, I have another great show for your viewing and listening pleasure this evening. Tonight, our co-host is the amazing Miss Dion Nicole Smith, humanitarian, philanthropist, all-around great woman, amazing singer. She's been a co-host here with us several times before. And tonight, you are a part of women's history. You are history, my dear. You are a phenomenal woman that has been doing some great things. How are you this evening?
Thank you. I am well. I think we are a little crazy because we have been running around all day. And so I'm great though. We're going to share a lot of love and hopefully inspire everybody who tunes in with us tonight, because that's incredibly important.
Yes,
as you said, it's Women's History Month.
Yep.
And in addition to being Women's History Month, we want to make sure that people who do not consider themselves female,
yes,
recognize that it's for all of us. We all, man, woman, they, them, all of us should come together and recognize the beautiful, the phenomenal, the amazing creatures that women are, and not just 1 month. Although this is lovely to recognize in March, but you know, just like for Black History Month, it doesn't take 1 month to spotlight the amazing women of the world, right? Because if it wasn't for a woman, we wouldn't be here. So,
that's right. Everybody has a mama. Had. So you are right. So you women are the vessel to the world. I mean, you know, which is true. Oh, okay. So now that you done got all the sister girls props, did you just like puff up on me? I like you were like, look, let me throw down the mic. Did you just like shoulder lean me? You did. You did. You shoulder leaned me to prove that point, and I believe it. I really do. Last night, some amazing women were here on the show with us. Susan Reed, Miss Iona Morris, legend. You know, Marianne Alder. I mean, so it was good last night. It really was to hang out with those ladies and just to kind of talk about life, you know,
moving and shaking and doing their thing in the world of entertainment. And you know, I'm blessed to be connected with that as well. And it's always a blessing when you have strong female voices telling stories that need to be told, especially in the world of entertainment, which is accessible. With everyone can have access to some form of entertainment. And so you always need a strong female point of view to lead conversations, which a lot of times you don't hear that because we know it's technically a man's world, but it's women who really run it.
Yes. So, I agree. Yes. All right. Well, very good. So Dion, as the world is opening back up and people are having far more or less restrictions, you know, as we saw in DC, this fight and argument over the mask or wearing a mask has become yet another hotbed issue. Where are you at with all of this? I'm sure you're a member of my campaign. We will be wearing masks until Juvember of 2025. Let me put that up there for y'all.
I am a member of we will definitely be wearing masks for sure. Yes, we will. Because we have too many situations. And sadly, this is a human issue. It's not about politics. It's a human issue. And to me, it's about common sense. If you look at the pictures from the pandemic in 1918, what were they wearing? Masks. And those photos. Because that's how they were able to survive. That's how they were able to make sure that you are here right now. So for those people who want to act funny and that's the term I'm going to use. I'm going to be very nice tonight. They want to act funny. They wouldn't be here without
That's
their
right.
ancestors wearing those masks.
Yeah.
So it's just really it's sad and
Okay.
pitiful.
All right. Well, I'll go with that. I really, really will. Well, coming up on tonight's show, you guys, we just got into the dialogue and we did not mention all of our amazing guests who are coming on tonight. We have a iconic figure in Hollywood coming to join us tonight. We really do. Every time I bring his name up, and if people don't remember his name, when I name the things that he's been in, they go, "Oh, yes."
That's
Ladies and
right.
gentlemen, legendary actor Mr. Obba Babatunde will join us this evening, and we are very excited about that. He's been here with us before. We're looking forward to chit-chatting and talking with him. He been busy. And he was
I
busy the
love it.
last time he was here. So
I
he
love
been
it.
busy. He been
I
really
love it.
busy. Yes.
And that's why I wore my star sweater. That's why I'm backing up so you can see the
I
star.
see the
I, wo-
star, dear. I
I
see
wore the
the star.
star sweater
I
just
see
for
the
him.
star. Yes, I see the star. I do. It's wonderful. And then also tonight, with it being Women's History Month, oftentimes women get divorced, and there's really no real playbook to getting divorced. And so we have a wonderful lady who's a doctor, but she's written a great book about life after divorce. It's kind of a survival guide, kind of a, here's what I went through, here's what you may go through. And so she'll be here tonight to talk to us about her wonderful book. Okay, so make sure you
Right.
guys stick around for that. All right, so want to do a major shout out for those of you all that live here in the Chicagoland area, or if you caught it online. I was on Windy City Live again today. Yay! I was back in the kitchen virtually. So I have to tell you how that went. But I went to Brookhaven Market out in Burr Ridge, Illinois. Fabulous, fabulous market. They just do a great job out there. And I did the Alessi segment there. But then today I had to do 2 meals because one had to be in studio and one had to be.
Uh-oh. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Uh-oh. What happened? It was a fabulous segment, everybody. If you can still hear me, it was a fabulous segment that Art did this afternoon. I was actually in my office at work and I tuned in online on ABC. There you are, I hope.
Okay, I'm gonna take that off. So you can't hear me. You can hear me now.
I can hear you great
That's
now.
amazing. With the headsets and the microphone, I don't know what that's about, but we'll just leave it where it is. Okay, so yes, continue where you were.
No, Art was fabulous. I happened to just click online because I did not want to miss him. And it was really lovely. His segment was so wonderful because we all have had to shift and do things virtually versus be together in studio. So it was wonderful to see that merge, that hybrid come together and have Art and his own little home studio, and then have him with Ryan and Val in the studio at ABC7. It was really very cool, and everything looked delicious. And I'm a foodie, so I
Yeah.
was sitting there going, really? Not my spinach, not my mushroom, not my. You see, I remember what you made.
Yes,
You see,
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I had a great time. With it being springtime, it is Lent, and we just want to eat healthy. A lot of us have been eating whatever. We've been making pound cakes, cookies. COVID. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah,
Because
right.
I did that initially. I've been trying to do better. And so anything that I do that's sweet, because I used to have a sweet tooth, for some reason it's moving away. It's just dissipating. But I
Right.
used to have a really big sweet tooth. And thank you, Donna. Love
Thank you.
you.
We
They said
love
we can hear
you.
you now. So it was great to just see those healthy recipes because I hear you. I will say this, because I was trying to find creative ways. So I was making carrot cake loaf
Oh,
with instead of like a cream cheese frosting, I was doing maybe like the lower fat cheese variation, something that was more um probiotic or what have you. I was being
okay.
very creative. So I was doing something that was a touch with a little agave instead of sugar. I was being very creative. Not that I need to make you one, but I will make you one if you want to try.
Well,
Let
me say this to the audience, you guys. Dion is one of the best granola makers ever. She said she was going to be making some granola, and she brought me some, and I said, I'm going to save this granola for one of my plane rides. And got on the plane, and of course, we all in these masks or whatever, so I'm like, oh, Dion's granola is perfect. Just break a piece, put it in your mouth. I moaned in the entire airplane, turned around. I was like, oh, Lord, so good. That's right. And I, of course, my travel companion, I gave them a bag of it too. And we both at the same time was like, oh, this is so good. So yeah, you do great sweets. They're not overly sweet, and they taste very natural. They taste really natural.
That granola recipe is so au natural. I just put, the only thing that's sweet in there is condensed milk. And then I literally put a couple of tablespoons of agave. But that's the only sweetness that's in it. But it's oats, it's almonds, it's pecans, it's sunflower seeds. And what else do I make? I think that may be it. And that's it. And just mix it up, and simple. But I took someone else's recipe and altered it and made it mine, because their recipe, they had a whole lot of they had all these other things, and I made it mine. Oh, and a couple of tablespoons of, this is when it gets a little of melted butter. So that's the only thing, couple tablespoons of melted butter. That's
okay. Because it was decadent. It was decadent, but I felt like it was good. It was right.
Nice and healthy.
Yes, you could get addicted to that. You really can. Yes, absolutely. So other things in the news today, it seems as if places are opening back up. They announced that movie theaters may be opening back up by the end of this week or either next week. In some states, gyms are back fully open. Restaurants are fully open. It was a rough year. It's still not over. I'm not even going to do the COVID numbers tonight under no circumstances. Keep this positive. We have a surprise celebrity guest joining us in just a little bit. So, we going to just kind of,
The one thing I will say, with you saying that you're not going to really address the numbers like you normally do, because we know it's headed in the right direction. A lot of us have tried to really be very sensible, listen to the doctors and the professionals, and make our own decisions. But all of us have been trying to be very smart. And so it disturbed me to hear how some states have now seen increases again.
Yes.
Because they keep, loosening things. So I'm just waiting to see what's going to come out of Texas and Florida. I hate to go there. I love my people in Texas and Florida. Lord knows I do. I love you all if you're on listening. But we know the government is crazy. I love my reverend just popped up and said she loves.
Is that really? Yes. Okay. See, well, she know I not lie. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that's your reverend? Right. See, she know I not lie. I tell the truth. I'm being a fair man about that granola, baby. I'm telling you, I was on the airplane and I moaned. I was so embarrassed. I said, that's about as bad as sneezing on a plane now. Right. I was moaning. I said, oh, this is really good. Right. So.
Look, my mother is quite happy. She is addicted to my granola now. And I feel like at 81, I am always happy to make her granola, because that's one of the most healthy things you can make, especially when you make it from scratch and you know what's in it.
Yes.
That's the thing. You can eat that. You can just take your time if you want to make it once a month or whatever, but that's something that you can eat, and it's going to be a healthy treat.
You know what, Dion? I'm seeing cooking shows coming up soon. I'm seeing maybe Windy City Live has inspired me today. Maybe we need to do a whole, because I'm telling you, that was so interesting to do that today.
That was cool.
Yeah, like I learned a lot during this pandemic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hello. Let's be real. I say to my friends and colleagues that know you and love you that this has been a blessing the two of us, we know we've been blessed. As
Yes.
hard as it's been in this pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
we know how blessed we've been. I
Right.
got a new position in a pandemic.
Yes.
You started this amazing show in the pandemic.
Over
And we
100,
know,
over 150 shows in the can.
see, I could have had cannons blowing. I didn't know you were
That's
going to
okay.
make
That's
that
all right.
announcement.
That's all right. That's all right. That's a, oh, I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna celebrate.
That's amazing. And when you look at, like you said, God gives us so many gifts, and the fact that you created something that's so beautiful. I always tell you that I feel blessed to know you and that you're my friend, and that I've been able to come on with you and to hopefully be a blessing to other people who watch you from around the country.
I appreciate it so much.
That's been, I mean, it's been amazing to have that platform that is not, you know, you can't take it for granted. And I know you didn't all the years being on the radio and what have you, but this has been a blessing. I feel like you're reaching more people than you even did on the radio.
Oh, well, you know, thank you. The one thing that I will say about this digital media show, I feel as if people really do learn the true essence of someone by watching them.
Right.
Radio is incredible. I love the fact that people loved me and loved listening. But now I feel as if, you know, people understand mannerisms, they understand tones and how you say and do things and just how you interact with other people. And I think the pandemic has really brought out the best in people, but I also think it has brought out the worst in people.
Oh, goodness.
And, right. But then I've also, honey, I've seen so much foolishness over the last year, just, you know, personally, physically, mentally, you know, mentally, just it's all interesting, just to say the least, you know.
It really is. And when you said it's the pandemic has brought out the best and the worst. And hi, Erica. That's one of my regulars, you know.
Yeah, Erica. Hold Dallas down. Yeah.
That's right. That's my FAMU Rattler sister.
Amen.
And you saying that's one reason why, because you know I use social media for very specific reasons. Yes. You know, I am always positive, or I'm going to be very truthful. I just, you know, I use it for that purpose. And I had to say something with those senseless deaths of Asian brothers and sisters. I had to say something like stop Asian hate, hashtag stop Asian hate, because if we all don't work together and love each other and recognize we're in this world together as human beings, and we all should respect each other's life, it just broke my heart. And what you've seen, unfortunately, also come out of this pandemic has been the rise of, or the uncovering of hate, which you thought was not in existence, but you recognize hate is everywhere. Sadly, but we also know, as the quote, well, part of the quote, right? That, you know, love is the only thing that drives out hate, right? We're always going to be people of love, always, because that's what we are. That's who we are. That's what we know, and we're not going to be anything other than that. But it breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart.
Absolutely. You know, the one thing, Dion, I've always tried to be the friend of people of all walks of life.
Correct.
Even when I do business, I try to do business with people of all walks of life.
I agree.
And it's nothing against my own race of people. It's nothing against the product or service that, you know, we offer each other. I look for people who are the best fit for me as a consumer and how they develop in my life. I posted a picture of a wonderful lady, Sue, who has a shoe repair place in Hyde Park. Actually, former President Obama is a customer of hers. And Sue is so much like family. The picture that I posted is actually a picture that's years old of she and I, right? People went to Sue and showed her the picture, and now Sue never charges me. Never. She said, You
Stop it.
superstar. She said, I just love it. She said, you are really a superstar. She said, look, President Obama was one superstar. She said, everybody was walking in showing me that picture of
I
you.
love it.
And she
I
said,
love it.
thank you. I thank you. And you know, and she and I just have been knowing each other forever. I have other good Asian friends like that, you know, that you know, I just hate for people to be like that, you know?
It just, we don't even want to go there. I always just go back to the humanness, right? With racism, with prejudice, with microaggressions.
Right.
I go to the basic level of, if you would treat me like you would want to be treated. Period.
Right. Yes.
Period.
Period.
It's just
right.
We know if you would just treat me the way you would want to be treated, we wouldn't have to talk about this. We just wouldn't. And we all have to stand in solidarity with each other. Period.
Oh,
we have to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I hate to see the way Chinatown is here in Chicago and many cities across the country empty. You know, a lot of the businesses have gone. The famed restaurants are no longer there.
Yeah.
And, you know, but then yet I was driving through Chinatown the other day and it is to pick up again. But then I also don't want an upsurge of crime in that area either.
I know. I know. It just, it really, you know, my heart goes out to anybody who is affected by senseless crime.
Right.
Anybody. And especially, you know, people of color. Yes. And people of different ethnicities. It just doesn't make any sense. And, and when I think about the Asian community, jokingly, and I told you this before, my nicknames in school used to be Asian Connected because people just looked at me and always wanted to throw an Asian name in there, and not, you know, a negative, but just they would ask me questions, and I'm like, God bless everybody. I'm Black. I'm African American.
Right. But I can see where you would be Black Asian. I can. You look Black Asian. You do.
Look, my friend, one of my dear friends in college, Koi, he nicknamed me Kinu, of course.
Right.
Back to a Different World when Dwayne Wayne's girlfriend was Kinu.
Right.
And then he also used to call me Kamiko because that was an artist back in the day. I don't know if you remember that duo, Stacy and Kamiko, that had that song. So he used to call me Kinu, or he used to call me Kamiko.
Right.
So that was the story behind that. And that's how you get my Instagram name, because I just put them together. I said, only those that know me would know the story behind that name.
Who knew? That's an interesting story.
Yeah. So funny. So funny.
Wow. Okay. Very good. Well, yeah, you could easily be Black Asian. You could, but, you know. Just saying, not trying to stereotype, ma'am. I'm just letting you know you really could. So that's interesting. I can see people saying that, but you know, we want all people to feel loved, honored, and appreciated. No matter who you are, we want you loved, honored, and appreciated.
That's right.
We really do. All right. Well, Miss Dion, darling, can you check on our surprise celebrity guests and see if
oh my goodness, what is going on?
Yes, we did a surprise guest. So we're
yes. What's happening?
Absolutely.
I did speak to that person actually an hour ago. So I don't quite understand.
That's okay, because we just don't want to infringe on the other guests, you know, but we got yes, do what you need to do. Absolutely. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys. It has been a day of lights, camera, and action. I've probably been up since 5:30 this morning.
Oh, gosh.
I know. I was on ABC 7 Chicago Windy City Live today with my good friends Val Warner and Mr. Ryan Chavarini. I just love them. And normally I would be in studio cooking the spring meal, the easy meal that I always do on there. But unfortunately, due to COVID, it had to be virtual. So this entire studio had to be disconnected, taken down, moved. All of that was just interesting today. It really is a production. It's a production, but it was wonderful. And it just
was wonderful.
It went by that quick, but
it really did. It really did. I mean, and I didn't know where you were gonna be in the broadcast, in the lineup. So I was in my office and I said, well, let me turn it on and put it down low.
Yes.
Because I was doing so much. I was getting ready for, upcoming fundraiser we have in 2 months. And I just was like, okay, my boy's going to be on Windy City again. So let me pull it up. And I was so happy that I left my office and then I came back and I went, oh, he's on. Okay, great. I didn't miss them. It was so great.
Thank you, Susan.
How many different recipes? Because I'll be honest, I don't think I caught the first one.
Okay, so the first recipe was Roma tomatoes, cucumbers, and red onion.
Oh yeah.
So, and you use the Alessi raspberry balsamic.
Oh yes.
What I did was I made a little. I mixed it all together, let it sit overnight, and just put that right on top of some baby spinach and arugula. And that vinaigrette is enough to just moisten those greens.
Oh my gosh!
So that was the first one.
Okay.
Second recipe today was avocado toast. That's super popular now.
I love some avocado toast.
I do
but
too.
At home.
Well, because you'll go to one of them fancy places and they want $12 to $15 for avocado toast.
Seriously, it's big business. Avocado toast is big business.
Yes, one of the coffee chains now is offering avocado toast. I've not had it yet because I can imagine it's probably mediocre, but I've not had it yet. Not the other one. So it's one, right? And it's another one. It's the other one, not the expensive one, right? The other coffee place. They have avocado toast. And I've not tried it yet, but my avocado toast is very easy and simple. You want a hearty, rustic bread. You don't want something weak and flimsy. Good toasting quality. For those of you that just want the avocado, then you can take it, put it on there and smear it. But a lot of times avocado is rough smearing on bread. So I've come up with just put you some guacamole on there.
That works.
Homemade or pre-made guacamole.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, that's the flavor of the jalapenos, the onion, all of that. Put some spicy arugula. I love that peppery, mustardy taste of the arugula. And then I did a sunny side up egg.
Okay, so all of that sounds lovely. I would just adjust and I would have to do scramble. I am not one for the yolk.
Well, here's the deal. You can easily do, there are 3 different recipes on the website, but you can do poached, you can do scrambled, all of that. That's fine, whatever egg you prefer. The older I've gotten, the more I like weirder eggs now. I used to do all that kind of stuff. No.
Right. Did you do the Benedicts? Were you a big egg Benedict's person?
No, not necessarily. I do like my eggs fried or sunny side. Really, that yolk is just where it's about to cook. Tell them to cover it, cook it a little bit, and firm it. And then I do it like that. Right.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly, I'm either a boiled or a scrambled girl. I can't really do that yolk and just having it ooze. And I know that's huge for a lot of people, but you see my face. I just can't.
You can't do the ooze. You can't do the ooze. You cannot do the ooze. That's the problem.
I can't do and you see that. Ironically, you see that a lot in Asian cuisine, right? With the bowls and all of this. You see it and it's just like, oh, it looks good. And I know you would be okay with it.
Yeah.
But I just can't, like, I can do a hard boil and I can do scramble.
Okay.
And I love eggs. I really do. I've been smart about, like, I don't do them often. Like, I don't even eat them every week. But I love them. And so, if I feel like some kind of, vegetarian omelet or something like that, because when you're trying to just be healthier, I love that. I'll just saute some little peppers and some onion And if I feel like it, I'll put a little Mexican cheese in there, and then I'll put I'll put Rotel on top of it. Yes. So some of the, the tomatoes that already have the chilies and the what have you in it.
You're making me hungry.
I would just put a little Rotel on top, and then I'll also put some hot sauce on top of it too. Just sprinkle a little bit.
Right. Oh, I love it. I
can't help it. You see, I can talk about food forever.
Right. Oh no, I
literally.
Love it.
Used to. You will get a kick out of this story. I literally, as a kid, my sister said that I would go to sleep, and I would, and sadly, this was when I was little, and this was also happened
versus when you were littler.
Little when I was a little kid, and then when I was also in college. This is what's crazy. I used to talk in my sleep.
Oh, I believe.
I used to talk in my sleep, but I would talk about weird stuff. So my sister said she told me I would talk about macaroni and cheese. I would talk about crazy stuff in my sleep.
Dion, we're gonna have you back on therapy night. We're gonna have you back on therapy night. When we have the doctors back on again, we're gonna talk about therapy night because I all of that, I'm like, oh boy, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I freaked my freshman year roommate out because we were asleep in our dorm, and she said I woke up one night, I'm asleep. She said I sat right up and started talking as if I was explaining a problem to someone. And then she said I laid right back down. I don't know. I guess it was meant for me to speak, huh? I don't know. Maybe I don't talk enough in my regular day-to-day awake state. Maybe I just don't talk enough. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, have you had enough to say now?
I'm done.
This amazing woman in the box next to me is the phenomenal Miss Dion Nicole Smith, our co-host tonight. Always a good time hanging out with her. She is just a mess and a half. Look, I did it.
I know. I'm talking about me. I was trying to point at you.
Right. Wonderful vocalist, humanitarian, just all around great person. We love her. We really, really do. Any word on
I don't know what happened
later. Tell them to pop in.
I don't know what happened.
We'll get them on the tail end. I was trying to make it a surprise guest.
I know.
Yeah. That's okay. Don't worry about it. We got it. We got it. Coming up in just a little bit, legendary actor Obba Babatunde will stop by. He has a lot going on. You guys know he's a Hollywood icon. We really do appreciate him stopping by tonight. As I said to somebody earlier today, I said he keeps a job. The man keeps a job. He's a hard-working man in Hollywood, I
love it. What I love is he's disputing the age myth.
Yes.
He and Ernie Hudson are disputing the age myth.
Right.
We know that, right?
Yeah.
Number one, they're incredibly talented human beings. Number two, you see them and you think, have you aged? I don't think you've aged. I literally think you may be vampire because you don't age.
Never. I've never seen age.
I mean, he looks amazing. He's such a handsome gentleman. He looks amazing. So yeah.
Well, I figured you would love this, being the film person you are, the buff, the actor, the director, the producer. You are all of these things, and then you put together such wonderful film festivals as well too. So interview tonight.
I feel blessed because I have always loved, of course, the arts are in my DNA with my parents being music educators. So I just appreciate having the opportunity to support other creatives. And I will always, I feel very blessed because now I'm on the advisory committee for Real Black Filmmakers and Community Film Workshop. And I feel very blessed to be in that position because it's important for Black creatives to have their voices heard. So, hey,
right.
It's that's what we need to see more of. And the fact that we have to continuously fight to say that is so sad. The fact that you have to continuously say that, just, we need to be in every space, period. We just do.
Right.
It should be a given. So
I'm checking on our next guest because supposed to be here at this time now too. So yeah, honey, we might look, baby, as sleepy as I am.
Right. Don't do that, because I think we're both gonna end up in the tired giggles where it's gonna be a show where we're just laughing at each other. And then people are really gonna tune in and go, what did I just tune into? They both were just laughing. This is
you know what I love and adore? Any of our news anchors, our 4, 5, 6, and 10 p.m. news anchors are usually the same people. And I have just got to give them major props and major credit, because I'm like, baby, you do this how many times a day, and the same and yes, right. And not that you wouldn't do it or wouldn't want to do it, but it's just one of them things you have to get used to it, because it's interesting to say the least.
Okay, so whenever I've had the opportunity to be on one of those and get interviewed for, a film festival or whatever, I just sit there going, God bless you, thank you, I appreciate you, because I'm in and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be here. You have to sit here. Of course, you have to do your homework. You have to help produce. You have to, and I mean, I God bless you, but that's a long day. Every day. That's a long day.
I had to make sure my menu was perfect, everything I needed, just all that kind of stuff. So yes, thank you to everybody who helped me out today. And again, shout out to Windy City Live, Alessi Foods, Val and Ryan, just the wonderful people at the wonderful store I was shopping at. Everything was just great. So I appreciate you guys, and thank you for your support today. Yay! So listen, we're a health and wellness show, so we want to remind everyone we're still in the midst of a global pandemic. We know the world is opening back up. We know people wanting to be free, but on this show, we want to keep everybody safe and healthy. And until everybody in the country has been vaccinated, and that's a whole nother show, Dion, because I'm curious to know, are they keeping tight enough records to know who all, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I guess my concern is always about those who have not been doing anything.
Right.
I had the pleasure of listening to the conversation with another living legend, as I feel, Miss Lynn Whitfield the other day. She was on the AARP conversation on, I think it was Tuesday, the 16th. And she and Harriet Cole were in conversation, and I wanted to, although I was working again, but I wanted to tune in because I adore her. And I think I told you I had the pleasure of meeting her in New Orleans in December 2019 before this pandemic started. And we had a wonderful conversation. She's so real. We had a wonderful conversation.
Right.
And I just, and Harriet asked her and said that she was going to get her vaccine this weekend. And Miss Lynn, she asked her and she said, well, I've been talking to myself. I was cracking up because I said, she sounds like she's like me.
It's a lot of people on the phone.
Which means people have to do what works for them, what they feel is best for them. I'm not saying I am with you, whatever you want to do. I'm still in the wait and see mode of efficacy. I'm still in that mode. So I'm behind anybody doing what you feel is best for you. And that's truthfully what Ms. Lynn Whitfield just said. And I was cracking up though, because she literally, her whole body language changed. She went, well, I mean, she literally turned to the side, and I was cracking up because she said, she's like, you need to call me this weekend after you have it. I want to talk to you. You need to call me. And she said, I know I probably will. And I say the same thing. I probably will. And she said, but Right now I'm still in the wait and see mode, and our special guest is in the waiting room.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll let you finish. He's laughing. He's having a good time. You listen. We're going to talk to this amazing gentleman who's been here with us before. We really do appreciate him. When you think of Hollywood legend, when you think of just one wonderful role after another, Mr. Emmy award-winning actor, Mr. Obba Babatunde, is always one of the most go-to people when it comes to talking about us, the world in which we live in, and how we can better ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the man himself, Mr. Obba Babatunde, back to the show. Yay!
Yay! Woo!
Woo, woo.
Greetings and blessings, salutations, family. How's everybody today?
Beautiful. How you
I'm
doing?
going to take you back to Arsenio. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, my Lord.
You deserve that. I'm going to take you back.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm magnificent. And I'm always a joy to be in your presence. Both of you, it's a joy to see you. You both look sensational. And, the outward manifestation is a reflection of the internal circumstances in one's life. And that's what we must identify and remember. So when somebody tells you you're looking well, know that things are well inside as well.
I love it.
You know what? I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that.
We did.
Today.
We needed to hear that today. We did.
Yes. You know what? I don't think we hear enough affirmation.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
What the problem is. I think that's why Kirk Franklin had to snap on his son. I think that's why people do what they need. All the wrongness going on in this world, we don't offer enough affirmation. So we appreciate you for that wonderful affirmation.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, because, it's an interesting thing that happens. I've said this for a number of years that, words are thoughts and thoughts are things. What you say is true for you. See, that helps remove the fact of you being concerned about what someone else says or thinks about you.
Mm-hmm.
You see, what you say is true for you. So be mindful what you say, because if you say I can, you can. If you say I can't, you're also correct. For many years, there were people that, when your life starts changing and you're doing well, you tend to get a lot of knocks on the door, if you will. And they said things, they would say like, Obba, woo, brother, you're doing so good, man. And, I just wish I could. And I said, you can. And they said, no, I just can't. I just can't. And I would spend so much time and energy trying to convince them that they were wrong, that they could. And guess what? They were right. But the only reason they were right was because they said that they could not. So you have to identify what you say. Words are thoughts and thoughts are things. And so we must, identify what it is that we're saying. We say to our children, boy, you're so stupid. And we say that as though it's a term of endearment. But as a child, the word has the meaning that the word has. Now, we can try to endure one with a new definition of that. But in fact, when that child believes that they somehow are stupid and it is identified as a term of endearment, what have we done? Have we raised kings and queens, or have we raised and indoctrinated slaves? This is the things we have to think about and talk about, because it's like, we're so creative. We're so creative with language, and we created, the 40s, the whole bebop language is a whole nother thing. Somebody said, man, that cat is, now that chick over there, she wigs me, right? Wig is a hairpiece, but we took it and we turned that into something else that was, man, she turns me on. She does this thing for me. So we have to be mindful of the things that we say and how we say those things. When you tell somebody, excuse me, but you know what? You're beautiful. You're talented. You are well meant for success. I'll give you a quick story and then we'll go on with the things that we're here to talk about. But
all right. Look, we always luxuriate in your voice, so don't worry about it. Look,
I have a question. Keep talking, but I have a question behind whatever you stop. I have a question for you. So go ahead.
All right. Okay. Well, the last time that I was graced to be on this wonderful show, I shared this story, and I'll share it again. It has to do with a woman by the name of Alma Smith, and it relates to what we're talking about right now. Alma Smith she was my friend, my best friend's mom, probably not known to anyone but her family and myself. But I sit here before you today as a repository of Miss Alma Smith. One day I had a difficult day at school, and I came home and my head was hanging down, I guess, and Mrs. Smith took my chin into her hand. She lifted my head up. She looked into my eyes and she said, "It's going to be all right because you are special." And for whatever the reason, I heard her and I believed her. And as a repository of those words and that defining moment in my life, I sit here today before you, sharing that with you for the reason, yes, to give praise to Mrs. Smith, but also to identify that you, I, and everybody within the sound of our voice has the ability to be an Alma Smith in someone's life.
That's right.
Oh my God, could you imagine just being able to identify, look at somebody and say, you know what? It's going to be all right because you are special, and they might hear you, they might believe you, and they might go forward and become all right simply because of that defining moment at that time in their life, as Mrs. Smith was for me. Now I'm ready for your question.
No, that's
I love it.
Truth. I love it. And it's the truth. And I literally was going to ask you this before you started talking about Mrs. Smith. And I love that. Fellow Smiths, the fact that you mentioned that story, did you always feel supported when you were younger? Did you feel like your direction, what you wanted for your life, was supported? Or was it just that one story that you pinpointed with Mrs.
That's a great question.
In the home, you know?
Great question, deserves a great answer. You know what? Support comes in many ways.
True.
Support can come when somebody says, you know what, you're great. Support can also come from those disappointments and those challenges you might have. True. When somebody, there wasn't everybody, my family, yes, they were supportive, and some of the neighbors were, and some of the neighbors weren't. And you know, it's what you glean your dedication from. You see, I was blessed and fortunate because I realized at an early age what my calling was. And I say that as my profession, I identify as my calling because it's a means by which I have the opportunity to bless folks. You know, my mother used to tell me, she says, son, there's two things you cannot do with a closed hand and a closed heart. You cannot give, nor can you receive. So open your hands and open your heart and watch what happens. And that's what I would do. And I would live my life. And I continue to live my life that way. But I also had to learn and understand something that I referenced earlier, that people that you meet along the way, this was my recipe once I learned this, for absolving myself from guilt. And that's an important one. Yeah, Daddy, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
You see, because you see, guilt can create a problem in your life. You know, I had a conversation once with God. It was a real conversation, fam. And it was because things had gone well in my life, and I was getting a lot of knocks on the door, and I was giving away and giving away and giving away the blessings that had been given to me in terms of financial reciprocity. Okay. And then one day it was almost all gone. And I heard God laughing. And I said, God, this is not funny. The money's gone and I don't know where it's going to come from again. And he said, oh, Bob, you're funny. I said, well, what's funny about me? He said, well, I gave you all of that and you gave it all away. And I said, but God, I did what I thought you would have me to do. He said, listen closely. He said, your intentions were good, but your actions were bad.
Mm.
Things don't come from intentions. Things come from actions.
Right.
My brothers and my sisters. They don't come from intentions. You can be well intended, and if your actions are bad, the result will probably be bad. Okay, so I said, well, wait a minute now, God, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, you give mixed signals. He said, oh, but how do I give mixed signals? I said, because you say, do not cast pearls before swine. To me, that sounds like judgment. You also say, judge not, lest be judged. See, I'm confused. He started laughing even louder. I said, why are you laughing so loud? He said, because you're funny. No matter how simple I try to make it, you still don't get it. But I'm going to help you out because I know your intentions are sincere. He said, okay. And I hope this will help somebody that hears this. It will hopefully make sense to me and change my way I thought about things. He said, what is swine? It is a pig. Where does it live? In squalor. Where does it live? In squalor. Did you, this is the most important part, did you create it? No, I did not. Therefore, there's no judgment about it. There's discernment about what it is. What is a pearl? A pearl is a rare and precious stone. Did you create it? No, I did not. Therefore, there's no judgment about it. There's discernment about what it is. You see, Obba, I know your intentions were good, but they were so busy coming to you that they didn't have to come to me. Oh, that changed my life right there.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Drop the spiritual mic.
Look, right. Close the door. Look, I almost closed my laptop. Look, I almost right. I said, oh, wait a minute. I forgot we got him on live. Right.
I know. We have to keep going, but we can just stop right now. We can just stop. Because that's a word. That's a serious word. Woo! That was word.
Well, you know what? I hope that it serves you because it has served me very well. It helped me to identify that when I meet someone, that people in general, for the most part, are where they are predominantly for two reasons: choices they have made or choices they have not made. See, that's what your free will is. It's a choice. You have the ability to make a choice, and that should not be removed from you, no matter what your choice is. It's your choice because that choice was given to you. Now, man will tend to take that choice away from you. And I don't mean man as in the embodiment of man as versus woman. I'm talking about mankind. Will tend to want to take that choice away from you from time to time so that they make a choice for you. But see, the master, the Father, gave me free will as he gave it to everybody else. Choice. So that afforded me to be able to identify, to look at people and say, well, listen, I can offer you a suggestion. I live by example. If I'm capable of doing it, then I know that you have the capability of finding that which you are great at and that you can do what is great about what it is that your road is. Look at you, two individuals, two beautiful individuals right here, right now, reaching out across the world to people. You're giving them an opportunity to hear others and to then make choices based on their own individual wherewithal. See, so you guys bless people every day. So I'm thrilled again. I'm sorry for my long-windedness, but I thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Look,
you see, we're sitting here like, keep talking. Fine, it works. We're here. We're just sit here and listen to you. I mean, I look at your background. Your background is just so phenomenal. And I was saying to Art before you came in,
yes,
that number one, you don't age, and I'm just gonna say that you just look fabulous all the time. You don't.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. As I said, the outward manifestation is the result of an internal situation.
Yes, that is the truth. That is the truth. But and I look, and when you look at your background, I'm sorry, Chad, because I know you're jumping in, but you know my brain.
That's all right. Because I was getting ready to say, also stay working. So don't forget, we got to talk about.
Well, and that's the next thing that I was going to say. Exactly. Right. I mean, that's when you see which are the realities of Hollywood or this business in genuine. I couldn't even speak that. In general, the fact that people are always having difficulties finding content, and now people understand you also have to create your own. Otherwise, it's not going to happen in a lot of cases. But the fact that you stay working, which is a testament to your ability and also in front and behind. Because if you also weren't a good person to work with,
there you go. Come on, sis.
You wouldn't get hired, right?
Come on, sis. Come on, sis. See, this is, listen, you just spoke a fresh word. You see, because it's not just work, it's good work.
Right.
See, I tell people, I said, because there's good theater and there's not so good theater. There's good television and there's not so good television. There's good movies and there's not such good movies. Okay. The thing is, at the onset of my career, I don't know whether it was arrogance or confidence, and I guess you would have to ask the person who was on the receiving end of it. But I made a decision that I was going to represent, because I know that the images that I present go around the world, and others that look like me go around the world suggesting who someone that looks like me, like the two of you, who you might be should they have the opportunity to meet you. And so why would I misrepresent you, having never even met you? So I made a choice. And that, as we talked about, it goes back to the word choices. I would say I'm interested in not the pearl, but I'm interested in the string of pearls. And that's what I've tried to create with my career. Not just a pearl, but a string of pearls. And that has to do, a career is not a job.
Right.
A career is a multitude of those things in the entertainment industry that have been put together. Okay. So that's what I was always interested in doing. And that has been my intent, is to represent a people well, and at the same time, represent all aspects of humanity. Because before you are anything at this point into the world that we've been born into, we are human beings.
Thank you.
We are human beings. And sometimes we tend to segregate ourselves from our humanity. We segregate ourselves from the humanity by hyphenating ourselves. We should not do that, is my recommendation. We should be able to be the fullness of who we are unto all of the aspects based on what it is that we do and how we show up and represent ourselves. So I'm thrilled that you made the comment about the continued work. I'm thrilled that I continue to work. I thank all of the fans and friends and those, like, I know people wish me well. The greatest gift, one of the greatest gifts I receive is on a daily basis. If somebody recognizes me, their comment is, brother, you know what? I got to say something to you, man. I really appreciate the way you do your thing. You always represent us well. See, and that doesn't matter whether it's a comedy, whether it's a sci-fi, whether whatever the genre is, whether it's on film, on stage, I bring every gift that I was blessed with. And that's the other thing. You mentioned that earlier. You got to work at it. You can't just show up.
Thank you.
And then expect to be recognized for greatness. That's become a new thing. Isn't that an interesting phenomenon? How, there's this thing where just because you show up, you're great. No. No. There is a difference between good and great. There really is. There's a difference between good and great.
Absolutely. So look, I want to talk about City of Lies. You're actually co-starring with Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker. And so let's talk about that. And then you still on SWAT with Shamar Moore. Let's just talk about those two. And then I got some other things I need to talk with you about. So go right ahead.
All right. Absolutely. So City of Lies, it opens tomorrow, both in theaters and streaming. And it is a fantastic, interesting. If you haven't, guys, everybody can go and check out the trailer, and you're going to get an opportunity to see that there's a way that this is done. Our director, Brad Furman really did a wonderful job, because it is difficult when you're portraying someone's life who actually lived. And you know, that's a human being. So you have to be very delicate in how you deal with making sure that the humanity of that human being, regardless of their choices. For many of you that may not know, there is taking a look at, without giving too much of the, because it's a thriller, if you will. So without giving too much away about what the property is, you know, it's a look at, here we had one of the greatest and biggest names, well, two of them actually, in the music industry, Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G., right? And so it's a look at how is it that these two men suffered annihilation until still to date, no one has been brought to trial. So it's an interesting topic. And I think the way it's shot, with going back and forth and back into the past, into the real life situation, and then what we're doing. And Mr. Forrest Whitaker is sensational. Mr. Johnny Depp brings it forth. I mean, you know, to be in the company of such giants and legendary figures from myself was a great honor. And so I'm thrilled to be a part of the property. And I hope everybody will go out and see it. And I hope it will meet the expectations of everybody. It was a labor of love, and worked hard and a long time in the making.
I was going to say, I've been hearing about that project for a minute, and I've been waiting to see it.
Yes.
Because as soon as I heard a little bit about it a couple of years ago, I was like, ooh, really? You all are going to go that direction? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just excited, and I used to, because I know you don't know my background a little bit. I used to work for the Gene Siskel Film Center of the School of the Art Institute. So I used to manage the Black Harvest Film Festival. Things under my role as development director, and I, of course, you know, I was always loving when I heard what was happening. Okay, what's popping out, and how, you know, who's doing what. And when I heard the rumblings about that one, I went, oh, wait.
Oh, yes.
I can't wait to see this. So I am somebody whose name is Dion Nicole Smith will be watching this tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. Well, then,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. And I want to hear from you. Let me know what you feel about the property.
Oh, I would love to. I would totally tell you. He knows I'm honest.
Yes.
Never hurtful, but very diplomatic.
You know what? And you know what? I cherish that. That's important, because otherwise, you know, I used to just to that point, and then we'll go on to the next property. But
yes, sir.
You know, I used to be asked to judge a lot of that we call talent contests at the time, and the panel that I was on would always start out by saying to the talent, listen, I just want y'all to know that everybody here today is a winner. And then when they would come to me, I would say, well, I'm not here to debate my panel members, but everybody here today is not a winner.
Right.
Everybody here today is a contestant.
Right.
And we're going to pick 3 winners. Yeah. Okay, there's going to be a first, second, and a third. That's the reality of what's going on. Yeah. And I share that with you to say that, just thinking that just because you're a contestant, you're a winner, then what is there to strive for? So your honesty and your means of constructive criticism, I value it. Don't ever stop as my respectful suggestion to you. Always be honest. And when it comes to those kinds of things, it only will help to inspire, encourage, and get somebody to try harder, I believe.
I appreciate
we had a question from one of our viewers tonight. Where was City of Lies shot?
Here in Los Angeles.
Okay. So it was here, there in Los Angeles. Okay, very good. Now let's talk about next Wednesday night. Of course, CBS hit show SWAT. You return again as Pops. And so let's talk about that. And then rumor has it you were in Chicago back in December.
Yes, I'll talk about that. What? So give it to you. Yes, I was there. I love that city. I told you that. I love that city, and I had a great time. And I'll come to that. But yes, we returned on Wednesday night, and I'm telling you, this episode, my experience on SWAT has been somewhat nothing short of sensational.
Oh, great.
You know, my relationship with Shamar in this father and son relationship is taken on another beyond itself of the television relationship. It's found itself into a real personal relationship between the two of us. And he affectionately refers to me as Pops. And I honor that, you know, that someone would think enough of me to identify me in that position. This last year was a very challenging year because he lost both his mom, who he was very, very close to, and his dad. And it was an interesting journey being Pops, who his dad was ill on the show, my characters. It was really an interesting thing. And so while I don't play I'm not the same type of character that his father was in his life. Obba is a different kind of person. So yes, so what we're doing that's going to air on the 24th is a really one of those things that get your tissues, have them nearby, because you're going to deal with what goes on between father and son in a very, very unique and strong, two strong men, two strong-willed men who are at odds about something, but you will get to see, I believe, what is underneath the undergirth of a relationship between a man and his son, a man and his father. And that I'm telling you, I take pride in, because how often do we get a chance to see that? I would attest to the fact that it's not enough.
That's right. That's right. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait.
I know. I cannot. Look, we off the air before 9 o'clock, so I can get
I was like,
and my tissue, and I'm ready for that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready for it too. That's heavy, because that level, that connection, number one, from what you just said, and the level of depth that you have to, you have to dig down, and touch into that, and have that genuine connection with him, because that's hard. I mean, I've lost my father too, so my heart goes out to him, and to have both, my heart goes totally out to him.
Yes.
We know we're not going to be here forever, but it's never an easy situation.
Never.
And when you are, especially a person that's in the public eye, then people are watching you, and you don't have the same level of, being able to just go into your own cave or what you want to do, and not really be around people as if you like you would want.
Right.
And I feel for him in that regard. But obviously he's a strong man. I don't know him personally, but you do. So, and I'm sure he probably respects tremendously the role you play in his life as fellow colleague, but also as someone dear to him.
Yes. Well, I do my very best.
Yes.
To be supportive.
So now let's talk about this role on Chicago Med, one of my favorite shows also. And then wait a minute, how you get to be on every network?
I was saying the same thing. I said, well, okay then. All right. He got the NBC powerhouse. We know we love our Chicago shows. Anything shot here, we love it.
Yes.
I did a TV show here in Chicago earlier today, and the one thing it said, you stuck with us today. You here you are on NBC, CBS. Man, I got to get to your level.
I'm serious.
Yeah. You a baller.
You know what? It was an absolute joy. As I said, I love the city. And I got to give a special shout out to the gentleman who directed the episode that I did, Michael T. Williamson. Yes. And let me share with you that this man is as brilliant as he is on screen as an actor, he is equally brilliant as a director.
Oh, nice.
He created an environment on that set, because it's a very, very fast pace, a lot of moving parts. He created an environment of love, which is perfect for creativity, because where there is love, creativity flows abundantly. And he did that. So big shout out to Michael T. Williamson and the cast and the crew. were so kind to me. You mentioned that there was a to get to the place of where this character has to go. Well, on this show, Michael and I decided that we were going to give him an accent. We were going to make him from the islands, and that was very specifically intended, so that it wasn't just an American black man, but it was a black man that came from another place, and he comes, and I can talk about it now because it's aired. He comes to America with his bride at 19 years of age. And his challenge in all these years of marriage that they have been married, and now he is faced with a decision to let her go. And they come up with a concept and an idea of how they would do it. And somehow that concept and idea doesn't work and creates an even greater challenge. So if you haven't seen it, please take the time to go and watch it. It is a brilliant episode. They re-aired it. They aired it during sweeps. I was honored that they did that.
Nice.
They re-aired it 2 weeks post sweeps. So that means that they really loved it. And the viewership was through the roof. It was the first time it aired. It came in #1 of all television that had aired that night.
Wow.
So I felt specifically honored. I felt specifically honored. But I'm telling you, I want you to see this because we dig deep. And someone said, I got a lot of questions. I want to be honest with you. The comments were so much praise. It was making me blush. I said, my goodness, y'all. But it somehow touches the spirit in people. It rearranged the molecules in people's interior makeup. They were crying. They were relating. They show the love between a man and a woman, and what that pain comes when this love between these two human beings are being separated by the transition. Which Dom, you said this. You said it. We know it's inevitable, but what happens when that time comes, and when you are supposedly you have made a vow that would help that person in some sort of way. And what takes place? It's called when the heart overrules the mind. So tune into it if you haven't seen it. I'm telling you, it's fire. And there was so many people that said, "Are you Jamaican?" I said, "No, man, I'm not Jamaican. I'm from Jamaica, Queens. But when it comes time for me to play a Jamaican man, and I got the greatest compliment, because a lot of people from Jamaica say, man, you represent us well. So if I do that, you know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
very
it.
good.
So
Very good.
layers there when you talked about the fact that they made a decision, a conscious decision to make him not just African American, but Jamaican American.
Yes.
That they made that was another layer upon layer upon layer.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to watch it, because my parents were married for 50 years before my daddy left years ago.
Wow.
So I'm always connected and feel incredibly blessed. I'm like, I don't have to do anything else in my life, because I know how blessed I have felt, because I've had that, and I know a lot of people don't. So, you take that seriously. So I love seeing stories like that, because people need to see them. They need to see them.
Well, I'm telling you, I think that you will be pleasantly surprised.
Great.
Very good. We'll check that out. And then I want to talk about the audio drama with Bronzeville.
Yes.
That, and then something with Lawrence Fishburne and Lorenz Tate.
That's the Bronzeville.
The Bronzeville piece.
Yes, that's the Bronzeville piece. And now, this is a brilliant project. And it was great to be back with my friend Lawrence Fishburne, because of course, we did Miss Evers Boys together, and we've been friends forever, and Lorenz Tate and his brothers, these guys came together, Helen Sutherland, which has been Lawrence's manager for years. They really came together to put something special together. Years ago, when there was just radio before television, blacks used to sit around and they would listen to the radio program, or they would listen to the fights when Max Schmeling was fighting Joe Louis, and then they would, you know, and it was like every slug and blow that they would listen to that radio. Well, here they've done an audio drama. So now it is incumbent upon us, those actors, to bring forth the same kind of force and power that you would be able to see when you're listening to it, opening up another aspect to the medium of your ability to sense something through hearing. You know, remember I said words are thoughts and thoughts are things. So you're going to pay attention to these words. You're not going to be distracted by the visual. You're going to be pulled in. And I'm telling you, these episodes really, really, really. Now, listen, you guys are from the fabulous Chi-Town. Yeah. Bronzeville is Chi-Town. Okay. Yep. So look at what is it? This is special for Chicago. So please support it. Please support it. I'm thrilled and honored that they asked me to be a participant, and I bring it with everything I got, like I do everything else. But yes, it's a brilliant multi-episodic audio series. So check it out. It's new, it's different, and it's exciting.
Beautiful. I know. Please people, check it out. Check it out.
Yes. Dion, did he put enough stuff on your list? Could you have been a better co-host this evening? Look, I knew.
You know me, because the arts are part of my DNA. My parents are music educators, so I came out of the womb singing, playing, what have you. So arts are part of my DNA, and I, of course, have an immense respect for you. And I was, you know, when he told me to co-host, I said, of course I'm going to co-host. Why would I not want this opportunity? And so I will say to you.
Listen, let me return the praise and compliment to you, Dion. You know, and Chat Daddy, you know, you are one who doesn't miss. So I know you would not have a co-host who was not capable of handling that chair. And right. and Dion, I'm telling you, you know, I got a chance to watch a little earlier. There is a style, a panache, a certain savoir-faire that you possess that is really, really valuable. So know that you matter. Know that what you think, feel, and say have an effect on those who are listening. And your earlier comments about, I want to be honest, is what would be expected of you and anyone else. And Chat, my brother, you know, whenever you give me the opportunity to be on your platform, because I get an opportunity to speak to so many. And I thank you. I thank you for your years of service.
Thank you.
I thank you for your years of dedication. And for those that are listening and watching, understand that he makes it look easy. But in the quiet moments, when he is not in this venue, he is still a human being with the same issues, challenges, and things that we all go through. And so continue to support the work that he does, because he has been doing it for a long time. And he's taken a lot of slings and arrows, I'm sure, that we will never, ever even know about. So, Chester, I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity. I praise you for the platform. Dion, thank you. Continued success. Love to your beautiful mom who is still with us. You know,
Thank you.
You know, we know that absence of the body is that which is one with the Lord. The spirit is impervious to pain.
That's right.
The spirit is impervious to being damaged by anything. We were made in the master's image. So take care of the temple, and the temple will take care of you. Thank you, guys.
I know. Amen. I love it. Another mic drop. Thank you.
Look, when is the sermon?
I know.
Look, every Sunday, one time. Look, man, look, all I want to be is your television ministry. I just, because you really are. I appreciate every word that you said. I thank you. I receive everything you said. To hear that coming from somebody like you just really is so touching in many different ways. And I appreciate that validation. A black man has validated me, and that's all black men ever
speak to that.
Is to be validated.
I know. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
yes,
both.
Absolutely.
I look forward to being invited back again, and we'll have some more to talk about.
Look, you know how that works. You tell us when you're ready.
That's right. That's right.
Look, if not, we have you here every day with us.
Okay.
Tell your people they know what to do. Yes, sir. We appreciate you so much. God bless and have a wonderful night and stay safe. The hardest working man in Hollywood, y'all. He keep a job. The legendary Mr. Obba Babatunde. God bless you, brother.
God bless you. Love y'all tonight.
See you later. Have a great
night.
Wow, that was amazing. That was really good. Dion, what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? I've been validated by a legend.
Okay.
Girl, that's like buying a good car and getting a lifetime warranty. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Look.
Yeah, that being validated by a legend.
Hey, I feel it was lovely. It was definitely lovely. We both have been incredibly blessed throughout our careers to be surrounded and to have worked with a lot of different known people, but to have the opportunity again to speak with that wonderful spirit, that wonderful soul of a human being. I definitely, that's a beautiful thing. I can say, Mama, if you didn't hear it, he sent you some love.
You're so funny. Well, with it being Women's History Month, and for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. It's our Friday here at the Real Chat Daddy Show. My amazing co-host tonight is the wonderful Miss Dion Nicole Smith. We just love and adore her, humanitarian, vocalist, all around just great woman. Whenever she's here, we always have a great time. Our last guest was just amazing, the legendary Mr. Obba Babatunde, actor extraordinaire, just a great man. It's so inspirational. My phone has been blowing up from people like my Lord. And then to have him validate me just brought back memories of when Maya Angelou spoke over my life. And so that is all of that is just interesting to me in many different ways that people like that see it. But humans, that's a whole nother show. We'll talk about a whole nother show. Well, our next guest this evening is here to help women. With this being Women's History Month, we're all about how do we empower women. And so tonight she is joining us to talk about life after divorce. No one ever wants to go through a divorce. No one ever wants to be in that situation. But you oftentimes wonder, what do you do? People ask about the children, your career, all of those things, but nobody has ever said, girl, how was the divorce? People brag about how much money did you get? How, you hate him that much, all of that. But that's a new life. That's an empty bed. And, as the song says, one less egg to fry, all of that. Okay. So here tonight to talk to us about her wonderful book. Dion, how you doing over there? You doing okay?
I am fine. I was trying to connect to our other guest who was having some technical difficulties.
That's okay. Tell him to come on the tail end of this.
He was good sitting there, but that's okay.
Was he? Oh,
he didn't press connect.
Shut up. Somebody told me they did that the other night. Somebody else did that. That's okay. Never mind. So our next guest, she's written a book, The Decade After Thriving. Wait, no, let me do it again. The Decade After Thriving After Divorce. Tips on staying positive and getting better, not bitter. So let's work on the name. It's Toyin is the first name we love. Falusi is the middle name. Now, honey, this new last name, she finna help us with this one. She gonna help us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, my dear friend. And she's been here with us before, and we'll talk about that at the end of the interview. I call her Dr. Toy, but she's gonna help us with the full name. Welcome to the show. Yay!
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Oh my gosh, what a wonderful evening. Oh my gosh. As always, Chad, it's been great. Dion, Nicole, just listening to you and just hearing about all the stuff you do. Amazing. And then, oh my gosh, Obba, I was just like, okay, drop mic, take that in. And then just before you took it in, he dropped another one. I'm like, can I process that?
Exactly.
I'm like, I need to go on.
Us.
I need to go on YouTube and pause and put. It's like words are thoughts and thoughts are things, and it's just like, oh my God, so empowering, so inspiring, and just so affirming, and just I was just like, okay, it's like take care of the temple, and the temple will take care of you. I'm like, ooh, just.
Doc, if you had not been our next guest, after what he said to me, I was getting ready to faint. I had to catch myself because, again, a Black man validated me. A Hollywood icon and legend validated me. So I'm going to bed after this show. I've had a day. So yes, Doctor, do us a favor. Help us to pronounce your wonderful name, the full name.
Yeah.
Okay. Toyin Falusi Nwafor. Nwafor. Yes.
Nwafor. Yes. I love all of that.
Beautiful.
From Nigeria. Thank you.
I love it. Well, see, I knew I had a feeling you were Nigerian. I had a feeling. And I said, I need to text my girl, Ugochi. Do you know
Ugochi? So Ugochi is Igbo. And my husband is Igbo. I'm Yoruba. And so our names are, so you can tell exactly.
I was going to text her and say tune in, but then I left, I ran out of time, and now I'm just going to have to tell her, girl, go rewind it, watch it back. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And yes, so good to be back again. I was on with Chad a couple of years ago when I wrote the book. I think it was in 2017, my first interview with you. I published it in 2017, one of the first interviews I did. And then I came on, I think a month and a half ago with my husband to talk about something we're working on now. But I was just so glad to be invited back to talk about, the decade after, thriving after divorce. I am an infectious disease physician. So he's always like, hey, Dr. Toyin. I'm an infectious disease physician. I am an author. I podcast now. And more recently started a health and wellness coaching business with my husband. But I really just wanted to come and talk about, empowering women and just, really not saying my life is over because a divorce happened, and how do we get better and not bitter. And that was my impetus for writing the book. And just listening to some of the stuff from Obba just earlier when he said, words are thoughts. And again, I could just take that and talk about the context in which I wrote my book and how important our mindset is when we're going through struggles. And then we talked about taking care of the temple will take care of you. I mean, I was like, oh, we can go back to that part when I talked about yourself, so so I don't know how you want to do this, Art, if you have questions for me, or we just kind of have a convo, but that's a little bit about me. I'm the mom of 4 now. I have 2 daughters and now 2 stepsons. And so, yes, and a physician, I said. So how do you want to do this? I'm ready to go.
So, Doc, when I first met you, and just such a esteemed physician, and you end up writing a book about
medicine.
You end up writing a book about life after divorce, and even when I met you, I said, "Well, guess what? You won't be single forever." I definitely said that to you. But what went off in your head to say write a book? Was it struggles that you had? Was it questions that maybe people couldn't answer for you? Because I think it's unique when someone writes about their experience. So what inspired you to write a book about life after divorce?
Thank you, Art. Those were the things you mentioned. Was it the questions? Was it what I went through? And it was a combination of all of those things. So, I write in my work in medicine, and those are usually based on, you do a research project, you looked at the p-values, you get all the answers. But this was life, this was my experience, right? So it's my truth. And one of the things I do know is that every one of us has a story, many stories inside of us. And wherever it is, whatever struggle or challenge you're going through, as you're coming through it, somebody's just starting that journey. As you're in the middle of it and you have no clue where things are, somebody just ended that part. And divorce is a process, right? The process of the divorce itself, the process after that. And I wrote that book 12 years after my divorce. I've been single those 12 years. And my kids were young when I got divorced. They were 6 and 7. Now they're both done. One's about to start medical school. The other one's a junior in college.
Right.
And it really was just the process. What I learned about myself, what I learned about what happens with divorce, what I learned about a lot of the challenges that happen that you may not talk about is what made me say that. And people saying, well, you know what? You seem pretty well adjusted. Your kids seem pretty okay. You have a decent relationship with your co-parent. How did you do that? What is that? And so I wrote it really just to share my story and to just, I say tips. It's not advice. It's not a self-help. I'm not a trained psychologist. It's not my field to do relationship counseling. So I put all those caveats, but I do say it is my story. If there's anything that helps one person through that process, or to understand that when you're going through it, you can't see the end. No matter what it is we're going through, a health challenge, a financial issue, a relationship issue, when you're in the thick of it, you're not always very objective. You don't always know where to get help from. And you don't know when it's going to end or if it's going to end and what's going to happen. So my impetus was, how do we do the best for our kids when a divorce happens? How do we as adults grow from that and learn ourselves better so that when we do choose to be in the next relationship, if we choose, we've learned ourselves better, we've worked on ourselves, we've had time to grow, we've put things in place, and we've protected our children the best we can. So my long-winded answer is it was about the kids. And if I could help one other woman go through that, to help to make sure our kids have the best possible outcomes, and also to not let that break us. It will stop us in our tracks. We'll have to recalibrate. We'll have to reset. We'll have to let go of certain relationships. We'll have to bring some new things into. We'll have to learn ourselves. But we are more than our divorce. And I end in my first page, I said, you are more than enough. The stigma of divorce is real. That stigma is especially real in my community in Nigeria. People don't talk about divorce. Nobody gets divorced, or if you do, it's just under the radar. Nobody talks about it. So it was also a bit to like, I own that is my story. There is no shame. There is no stigma. Divorce happens. How do you move on? And that's
and you know what? That's so funny. I knew that about, Nigerians and how they feel about divorce, and really
a lot of cultures.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's across cultures and religions, and then that makes me always sad when you hear that, you know that, because to me, why it should be about love and health and how are you going to be your best self. I have never been married, and so my heart goes out to anybody who ends up needing divorce. That I have, of course, people in my world and very dear female friends who have gotten divorces after decades of marriage. That always blows me away because I feel for them, but I've always asked, why did you stay in? What was that? And not as a judgment. I just am curious. Like, I just hate that you were dealing with certain things for so long that you got to a point that you said, you know what, I can't do this. If I'm looking at the rest of my life, I need to walk away. So I'm always, my heart always goes out, but I'm always curious about, do you sense, do you know? Because with one of my friends, she said she knew, like, when she was really about to get married, that maybe I shouldn't get married. That scares me. That really scares me. Like, that. How can we try to trust ourselves, right? We need to be able to trust ourselves, trust our own, our soul, right? We need to actually feel like, is this really the person? Am I not doing it? Am I doing it for the right reasons? Am I not doing it because I'm turning a certain age or because people around me want me to get married? Like, why am I doing it? So I'm just really very curious, Dr. Toyin, because it always breaks my heart when I hear stories. Like, but you have to do what's best for you. So it's not like I'm saying,
So what do you think, Dr. Toyin?
No, but I think, Dion, you made excellent points. And the first part of what you said is that your heart goes out to those people. And that's one of the things that where sometimes people will say, oh, you took the week, especially if people were married for a short time and they got divorced, and or if it seems like, they just walked. Some people say, oh, you didn't try enough, you walked away. I say, anybody who thinks divorce is easy clearly hasn't been through that. No matter how mutual the separation is, or people say we both outgrowing, whatever, it's never easy, because it's the end of something that people go into thinking lifelong, right? So for the most part, so it's never easy. And so that empathy and just knowing that when people are going through divorce, they're already dealing with so many emotions. There's the guilt of, I just broke, especially if there are children involved. It's always it's never easy. Any relationship, even regular breakups, but if it's just the two adults in the relationship, you can choose not to communicate with each other until you get to a time, if you ever do, where you can be in the same space and have a decent conversation. But when you have children, as long as there's no issues with abuse from the other parent and they are good parents, that's that part where the co-parenting really needs to be. A lot of the adverse effects we see for children of divorce, and some of the things, you look at the stats, they look horrible. They're like, children of divorce, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, and all of that. And that was why when my divorce was happening, the first thing I said, all I knew were the divorce statistics. I didn't have close friends or family that were divorced, so I didn't have any personal experiences to draw from. I just knew that these were the stats. Okay, well, what can I do to make sure the odds of that happening to my kids were much less? And a lot of that had to do with what the adults in the relationship do to protect them, to make sure they have a relationship with that other parent, regardless of how they as adults, you as adults chose to go your separate ways.
That's right.
The kids need to be protected.
That's right.
You can't be your therapist. You can't dump on them. Making them dislike the other co-parent doesn't do them well. It just messes them up. And that's why we see some of these bad outcomes. So really was about the empathy, because people going through the divorce are already thinking about all of those things. There's the guilt, there's the stigma. And so when the people they think are friends or relatives or family then add that extra layer of like, well, this, you went away too easy, you didn't try enough. That's when, that empathy is important. But you also brought up an excellent point around why are we doing that. So I have a whole section in the part about you when you grow. There's a whole section. So the whole book, and I know I don't have a lot of time, the whole book is in 4 sections.
Doctor, you're fine.
Yeah, the whole book is in 4 sections. The first section is about you and the kids. And it's really about how to put them first. And that means putting yourself, your emotion, because you're human, you're hurting, you're angry, you're sad, you're mad, putting yourself on the lower level just for the kids. The second section is you and your co-parent, and how important it is to maintain civility, if you can, with that co-parent, and that it's not a competition. Don't try to outbuy, outdo, outbribe, outdo. That just messes the kids up. When you guys are trying to compete, and instead of saving for college, you're buying them stuff that they're going to play with, Then the third part is about you and others. And that's a really sensitive part. You might lose friendships. You will. I did. You might have people who ostracize your kids. They don't want to be around kids of divorce. I mean, it's amazing.
What?
You're all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
You're going to have people who just want to talk about your divorce, even though divorces happen, they want to make yours the topic. And so you have to be very careful about how much you share. I have a whole section. But the last part, which was the most important part, I thought, apart from the kids, was you as that woman. How do you grow from that process? How do you get better, not bitter? How do you find the positives of what that adversity did to you? What did you learn? I have examples of things I didn't even know as I learned. How do you find a new support system? And how do you not settle? How do you not settle and don't rush? So when you talked about why are we doing stuff, some of the reasons why people after write a divorce get into the next relationship is because my ex got married, so I got to. My ex has a steady partner, so I got to. My parents say you can't be single. I need a date to a party. You have to do it when you're ready. It took me a long time to be ready, and I did not settle. And so sometimes, especially women who get divorced with children, sometimes people feel like they have to lower their standards. Well, I got kids. Well, I'm divorced. Well, no, it's like I am this woman who is more than enough. Yes, I have kids. Yes, I have been married. And let's talk if I want to have you in my space. If your confidence and your ability to say, you know what, I don't have to settle just because, that is really important. And that takes a lot of growth during that time, to not settle and not rush into the next relationship because everybody else is coupled up and you don't want to be. So we really need to. So I like when you talked about thinking about why we're doing this. It can't be on anybody's timeline. You got to do you and know yourself. I talk about taking time to really learn yourself. For a lot, many people, you're dating, you get married, then you have kids if you're blessed with them. And there's very little time that you're just you really thinking through things. So like anytime we have a hard stop in life, it forces a reset. You kind of look through, you're like, you start to look, who are my friends? Who's my support system? What do I need to learn? What had I abdicated that I need to do? For me, it was finances. I needed to know finances, things like that. And sometimes it's that hard stuff that allows you to do that. You lose a job, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I need to brush up my resume. Oh, wow, I didn't even know I had all these skills. This side hustle is going to be my real hustle. So I think of that time as a time of growth, to say this adversity, what did I learn from it? How did I grow from it? What are new things that I learned from that? So it's really about just empowering women to not let that define you. Don't feel less than, and just keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Boy, I love it. Look, Dion, she make me want to go get married now.
Look. I was sitting here and I said, thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. Now, mind you, I haven't been married, but I'm listening to all of this common sense stuff. To me, it's common sense, right? Maybe because I just have not been at that place where I've wanted to marry anybody. I've dated lovely men. I'm not dogging anybody out there, but I haven't been to that place. And so, because back to what you said, I have never felt like I was in a rush. I have thankfully never felt that pressure from my parents to, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? I just never felt that. I'm grateful because I know a lot of people have had that. And a lot of people have made decisions based on different things that were going on in their brain. I remember talking to a male friend of mine after his first marriage, after he separated from his first wife. He's been married now for years to his second wife, the person who he should have married in the beginning. But I'll leave that alone.
Right.
So when he got with her, I was like, thank you. But the first one, he married her after they had been dating on and off for like 8 years. And I remember thinking, I don't care if it was that long. He shouldn't marry her, but okay. And when he got divorced, I just asked him, number one, I am so sorry. Number two, what happened? And he kind of admitted he had these thoughts in his head about, well, I'm about to turn 30 and I felt like I should get married and I had been with her for so long. To me, that neither one of them are reasons for you wanting, or do you really want to go down the aisle, spend that money, be in a relationship? Because he was separated a year later. It wasn't even like a full, he was separated a year later. And I felt so bad because he knew.
You know what I think? People like Dr. Toyin and and we talked about this on the radio back a few years ago.
Yes.
People need to hear this. I think people of all walks of life, until you know what the highs and lows of a marriage has been, I really do think, Dr. Toyin, you almost need to be a part of a marriage counseling ministry.
I'm serious.
Because you've given me a lot to think about, whether it's male, female, same sex relationships, whatever the the case may be. I've always wondered, like, what brought you to the divorce? You know what I'm saying? Because if two good people, but when I read your book and got into it, I said, now I get it. And it actually made me be a better person, you know?
Oh, thank you for saying that. And so, you know, one of the other reasons I wrote it was because there's not a lot of books out there. There weren't any. I read a lot, but there weren't any that seemed very just kind of, this is my story. It's short. This is how I'm thinking. There were like very technical books about reading by psychologists, and I read those. I am a nerd. I put that on the first page. I love reading books at my place. Friday night is getting a good book. So I love to read. But they were either written by marriage counselors with a lot of psychology and stats and data and things which are very helpful, or they were very scandalous tell-all things. You know, you see that, and people like that thrill of what happened, she said, what did. And I actually put in the first page of the book, if you're looking for, oh wow, this is how we know what happened, don't buy it. Sorry to disappoint you, because I don't live in the past, never have. Because like TD Jake said, if you're driving, right, you're using your rearview mirror just so you kind of see what's in the back, you know, see what's coming. You have the side view just so you know, but you're looking ahead. You can't drive looking back. You can't go on the side because everybody's lane is different. So if you're on the side, either way, you got to go forward. So I wasn't going to talk about the why, because just like every marriage is different. Every divorce is different.
Right.
Some people know years before they exit and they take time because for whatever reason. Some people, it happens right away and it's a deal breaker and they're out. For some people, it's mutual. For some, whatever it is. And that wasn't the point of the book. The book was after you've tried. I even talk about it because I got quite a bit of, first of all, it's done better than it was just me putting my story out there. And if I could help one person, literally from the minute it got published, it was like DMs and messages, and I've been asked to do so. People just, you know, it's in an audiobook, a Kindle, because it resonated with so many people. I wrote it in a very conversational way. I used a lot of humor. I used analogies to medicine. I used, examples. I said, people go into the hospital with a diabetic foot infection, and somebody comes out, antibiotics, they're done. Somebody's antibiotics and minor surgery. Somebody, it's an amputation. And everybody's like, oh my God, I know somebody who went in, they were fine. You don't know the extent of the disease. Only the doctors in the hospital, when they saw that patient, knew. So when people get divorced, we have no idea. Everyone's starting up in a different place. But the question is, when that happens, as a woman, protect your children. Mm-hmm. Be careful around who comes into their lives. I've been a physician over 25 years. There's a lot of abuse that happens when people, and mothers bring people into their kids' lives, because for their own partnership, we have to be very intuitive and really listen to our kids. Listen. Some of them during this process will tell you how they're feeling. Some will withdraw. We need to get past that stigma. If they have teachers and educators, let them know what may be going on at home so they can help our kids. Let's not, the stigma actually doesn't help us. And so when all these things are happening, I'm a woman, so I can only speak to what I know, is that we need to be very careful about who we introduce into our kids' lives as we try to date and do other things, because they are children. Right. One, they get attached more quickly than we do. So if you think it's casual, if it's casual and it is what it is, it's a one of whatever, keep it that way. Don't get the kids involved. And when kids are involved, let's be perceptive, listening, learning our kids, looking at their verbal and nonverbal cues. If there is something going on, err on the side of caution. Our children, those damages that happen with people we bring into their lives last for a long time. I've met many adults in my practice and in my life practice where the biggest harm happens from people that were brought into their lives by their parents, and they never dealt with that kind of issue. So it's one of the things, balancing between trying to date and move on and relationships, but making sure that we really pay attention to our children. They're only going to be children for a short time. And whatever damage happens, we may not be able to undo it. So for me, it's really about putting the kids first and then growing.
Beautiful.
That's the word right there.
I do. I really, really do. I love it. I do. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about the new life that you developed yourself. I have my wonderful T-shirt. When I have the fitness segment again, I'm gonna have my T-shirt on.
And this is one of ours too.
Yes, it is. I love it.
All right.
Oh, that's cute. So let's talk about
it's a little tank.
That's cute.
Oh, that's cute. She and her husband have videos and everything. I just think it's the most beautiful thing ever. Yes, let's talk about that. And then once I come back from hiatus, I'll have you guys back on and I'll have my fabulous t-shirt on then too.
Okay. Sounds good. So so when I wrote the book, The Decade After Thriving After Divorce, that was 12 years after my divorce. And then last year, I got remarried after almost 15 years.
That's all right. I told
my
you.
motto was raise the girls to be fabulous women. And I can proudly say they are. I like to say the 3 C's. They are confident, they are courageous, and they are compassionate. And as a parent, my work is done. They're doing well in school. They're all that great. But women that are confident, that are courageous and are confident. That was my goal. And with God's help, that happened. And having them have a positive, ongoing relationship with their father is amazing. That is, if you know, so that is great. And then again, motto number 2 was never settle and don't rush. And so a year ago, I got remarried to a fantastic man. And both of us, we have this new initiative because my name was Toyin Falusi Nwafor, and his name is Chioma, so Tifal and Chi. We have for health and wellness. We're both passionate about health and wellness and nutrition and really curbing the impact of chronic diseases in our communities. And, you know, with the COVID impact now, we see how all of these underlying comorbidities are really just wreaking havoc in terms of who's at risk for COVID, who's getting high rates of complications. So it's a health and wellness company. We do consulting, we do a lot of health and fitness one-on-one, but also do a lot of speaking around this issue. So with Chad Daddy, and our message about the Fab Five, which is the t-shirt he was talking about, was really looking at, you know, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity, and high BMI as surrogates of all of these other chronic diseases in the community, and how can we bring awareness to these. So a lot of when we talk about how fab, it's like fabulous begins on the inside. So it's great to do all the stuff on the outside, but what are we feeding ourselves? What are we doing internally so that all of that? So it's about health and wellness, wellness coaching, exercise, nutrition, bringing awareness to the issue of chronic diseases, and really making an impact in helping people live healthier, well-rounded lifestyles that empower them to be their best selves. So it was good to, like, you know, connect and you know, we're doing this as a partnership. And if anyone's ever had a business, it's tough doing it. But when you're doing it with a partner and somebody you love who has the same mission about health and wellness, it's phenomenal. Great. So
well, you all do the best videos ever. People follow them on social media. Their videos will get you going. They'll wake you up.
Well, like 50 is the new 30.
They don't care what the temperature is outside.
Hey,
50 is the new 30. That's what we're doing. And so a lot of people have been texting when we got married. They're like, you got married at 50 and 51. I'm like, yes. Get your mind right. Know what you want. And just, you know, yes.
Look, sis, I'm right there with you because I have never been married and I'm 49. So
you look amazing, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. I know I laugh. I love telling people my age because they never think how old I am. So it's like, and you know, sometimes I don't want to tell them because then I'm like, dang, you still I was getting that hookup for whatever, but no, but yeah. So I love your story because you know, there are times that because we're human, that we go through like, okay, Lord, I'm a trust in you. Like I've never been desperate, but I'm a trust in you.
Yes.
And if you think it's in my cards, if that's part of my life plan that you created for me to get married, okay. If not, I've always said, I've been like, well, I'm glad I love my own company because
Dion, I think that's why I connected as I was listening to you, even before, you know, Obba came on and all that. I'm like, ooh, I just love her energy and spirit. Because that's why I was like, I've been married once, I have the kids, I have a career I'm doing all these things, I'm traveling with my friends. I think that's it for marriage. When I was on Chat's show, he said, oh, you're going to be remarried. I said, look, it's been 12 years. I'm going to fabulous life. If God wants it to be, but I am not stressing. But you know what? It is a good thing.
I love it.
Life was great, but it's better now. I can tell you, for me.
I love it. I love
There's
it.
not many people that I say that to. When I prophesize and say something, and just when you and I got that interview, I said, "Oh, you're not going to be single," and you didn't, you know, and all of that. And when you said new, and I saw new, and I said, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" Because there are not many people I say that to. Because if it does not hit my spirit, then I don't say it. But that night, something told me to say to you, "Oh no, you'll get married again soon." Yes.
And I said, nah.
Yeah, right. You did. Well, Doc, how can they get your book and follow you and all that great stuff?
Yes. So the book is called, I don't know if it shows up well, it's called The Decade After Thriving After Divorce.
Yep.
And I'll put it in the chat, and it's on Amazon.
Oh, here it is. We're going to put it up here. We're going to put it up for you.
Okay. So it's in the store on our website at tifaandchi.com. In the bookstore, in the store, there's a book. It's also available on Amazon. So directly on Amazon, it's available in print version, in audio, and in Kindle version. And the audio version, I mean, I guess a lot of people are in audiobooks as they're reading. It's been in the top 50 best-selling for single parents for the last 5 or 6 months in the audiobook version under the single parenting category. So it's very short. I don't know if you can see. It's a very easy read, but the people who know me said they felt like they were like sitting in bed with me, hearing me talk to them. I didn't do the audiobook. Someone else narrated, did the audio version. I didn't have time to sit in the studio to do it. But again, it is not a tell-all, scandalous. It's a very positive, affirming book. I even have quotes in there about my best quotes, the books that helped me, positive things during that process. And just, you know, it was light, but it was about the kids and you as a woman growing from the process. I did have guys read it. Some of my Amazon reviews were men.
Good.
And they were like, you know what? I know. They were like, you know what? Relationships are relationships. We all want love and respect.
That's right.
And if we have children, we want them to be great children. So, hey, you wrote it as a woman, but hey, there are tips in there that, you know,
That's right. Exactly. Wow. I love it.
Thank you.
Phenomenal guest as always. This was just really an eye-opening interview.
Yes, it was.
In many ways. And I think it worked out perfect with people who have never been married, never been divorced. And you know, at least it was eye-opening in many ways. And you said that Obba was inspirational.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But Doc, we're going to give you credit tonight too. You brought it home.
You were too.
I want to give you a big round of applause in honor of Women's History Month. Thank you for being just a phenomenal woman. Thank you for trying to heal people. Thank you for showing us what love can do again. And then you want it. And then you
smile.
Use a bad girl.
Like, they're like, what are you guys, like 12? I'm like, no, we're 50, but
hey. I love it. I love it. That's great.
I do. Great. Dion, in closing, what do you want to say to the doctor before we say goodnight?
I want to say, keep going, girl. We got to connect.
Yes.
Yeah. We definitely got to connect, because I had a feeling about you as soon as I saw you too. I was like, yep. I'm connecting with her.
Very good. And you both are in the medical field too, so that's interesting too.
Well, I'm not a doctor. I just help. I'm a person who loves to help and provide services. So we definitely need to connect. What I do can provide services for what you do. So yes.
That would be awesome. And we'll be back, Chad. Tifa and Chi will be back. We'll do live virtual cooking stuff if you want. We will be back with you, Chad.
I love it.
Yes, I know you will. Look, Chad is creating a cooking show soon. We're going on hiatus in the month of April to look at some new things. And when I come back in May, we're going to have an all new platform and everything. And, you know, it's been a year now of me doing this. And so now we're going to bump it up a whole nother level and do some different things. So it's a pleasure. Tifal and Chai, .com. Please, you guys, check them out. We got a lot of great response tonight. Thank you, Shirley. She said,
thank you.
Isn't that beautiful?
She's like a play mom, so I love Shirley. I grew up. She goes to my church, so I love Shirley.
And Melda did we love what Melda. She joins us every night. Doctor, we appreciate you so much. I'll be in touch. and we'll talk about some things. I'll wear my lovely t-shirt the next time I have you guys on. Today was all about Chat Daddy Day. Look, I've done TV how many times today, but I love it. That's me. Okay. Doctor, tell your husband we said hello and that I send my best. And we just really appreciate you so much. And so, Dion, let's practice the name going out together. Toyin Falusi Nwafor.
All right now.
Yes. Yes.
We love you, Doctor. We do. Fabulous job tonight.
Dion, I can't wait to connect. Chat has all my info. Let's do this.
Definitely.
All right.
I'll make sure this happens because I see a lot happening in this relationship.
All right.
God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Very good. That was fabulous.
I love it.
That was fabulous. Both of those guests.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep like a baby elephant on a marshmallow. Baby, I'm going to sleep so good tonight.
Don't do that to me because you're making me laugh. Please.
Honey, y'all better check on me tomorrow. Make sure I'm still alive. Because, baby, between earlier today and now this show tonight, I'm going to sleep like a baby elephant on a marshmallow.
I know. You know what? Please stop. You are making me laugh, but it's the truth.
God, I know you got, look, as they say, I know you got church announcements to make. So go ahead.
I'm trying my best. Sorry, I was trying to actually do what was easier. So I'm putting in the website information to Facebook so you can grab it. So for those that know, I work for IMD Guest House and I'm Director of Development. And we are having an amazing golf outing. Yes, COVID safe. We know one of the safest things you can do if you're going to have an event is actually have a golf outing because you're outside. And as a nonprofit, we need to raise money so we can continue to help patients and their families and veterans have a place to stay, have temporary lodging when they need to go to a hospital like Rush or UI Health or U Chicago Medicine or Cook County. We are there to provide support. So definitely, if you are interested, even if you don't golf, you can give a donation. But we're having a golf outing on Wednesday, May 19th. So 2 months. Okay, so I'm giving you advance notice so that you can try. We have sponsorships available. I would love to see golfers of color. I would love to see Black businesses if you want to sponsor. We're going to be at 7 Bridges in Woodridge, and we would love for you to just consider this is one safe way to gather. We'll be outside. So we're limiting to so many people, and we're not going to have a big shotgun. We're going to do tee times so you can register for your tee time. We're trying to make it as safe as possible, but still have a wonderful experience while you raise money for a worthwhile organization as ours. We are truly so valuable in the community, and we need more people to know who we are. And so thank you, Art, for putting the information on the screen because we just got our website up and running like yesterday. So we want you to register. We want you to attend. Again, it is Wednesday, May 19th. Shotgun starts, Tea time start at 8 a.m. at Woodridge, in Woodridge at 7 Bridges. So please consider supporting. We would love to have you all come and just be a part of this wonderful event.
Yes. And so tonight, Dion, you know we're going to support 100%. We were supposed to have had a surprise guest that was going to join us tonight.
I know.
We just love him and appreciate him. No issue. But he was going to be here tonight so that we could celebrate a victory. The Grammys were this past Sunday. And not only did Beyonce come out a winner, not only did Megan Thee Stallion come out a winner, but our good friends, the Fisk Jubilee Singers, won first ever Grammy Award at the 61st Annual Grammy Awards ceremony. And we just want to give a big shout out to the Fisk Jubilee Singers. That is major. Right. We were going to have Gio come on tonight and tout them and talk about them. And, you know, he was here not too long ago to tell us that they were up for a Grammy. And they went away with the Grammy, baby. And so here's how you can support the Fisk Jubilee Singers alumni.org. If you want to make a donation, they're trying to do a lot of great things. Don't forget, Chad Daddy's going to Nashville.
It is the 150th anniversary of the Fisk Jubilee Singers. So for them to win a Grammy in this year is phenomenal. So we want to support what they're doing. They're doing different fundraisers throughout the year. We want to support our fellow HBCUs. You know, I'm a proud Florida A&M Rattler, and we want to support our other HBCUs, especially one whose history is so rich as Fisk University. And all right, Fisk. So now I have to tell Gio, at least we had a Fisk alum in the house. So that's lovely. It's too bad that, you know, he couldn't really work it out technically.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Gio get to come back. Look, on this show, everybody get to come back. Look, you can come on, cuss us out, and you get to come back because it was good. You can forget how to log in. You still gonna come back. This for sure. We don't trip on here. We let you come back.
No, we don't. No, we
don't. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. You back. I'm back. We about love, all love. So yeah, look. I had somebody else say that too one night. Said, "Oh, I didn't look down and it said click to get in." Right. So don't worry about it.
That's right. All love, nothing but love. We do
want to shout out the Fisk Jubilee Singers tonight. We really do.
Yes.
All right. Well, y'all, it has been just a beautiful day. Really, it has. I appreciate everybody for all the text messages, phone calls. My phone was just steady blowing up. Thank you to Windy City Live again, Alessi Foods. Thank you to everybody who helped me to make it all work today. Shout out to my good friend, Miss Laura Parrott. My girlfriend, everybody knows is Laura Powell. I was using her beautiful big kitchen today to make it all happen. And the food was good today too, Deanna. I'm gonna have to make you some of that food. I am.
Oh, please. That looks so good. And then, you know, I love some avocado toast.
Well, honey,
and then the avocado toast. Okay, man.
Yes.
Look it up.
I told you, avocado toast is my new go-to now. I love it. At home, that's my because I'm like, I'm not gonna pay y'all $15 for this. Look, let me go home and make some avocado toast.
Exactly.
That's my new thing now. It really is. All right. So don't forget, you guys, April 3rd, I am doing a two-hour webinar. This 2-hour webinar will tell you how can you get into the media game. And I'm not talking about being a journalist, any of that. Maybe you've written a book. Maybe you are a non-for-profit organization. You might have a product, a service. You might be a fitness person. Whatever it is, it takes a certain skill to be able to do this. And media houses are looking for people, whether it's radio, television, newspaper, digital platforms. People are looking for guests, but you've got to have that certain finesse about yourself to be able to land these spots on television. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling y'all, you've got to have a certain finesse. So why not let me help you to improve you to be able to present yourself? It's easy. It's simple. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to start coaching people on how to be a superstar.
I love it. I love it.
You do? Did that make sense? The inside.
It totally makes sense. Of course.
Brand and products with Chat Daddy. Saturday, April 3rd. Seats are limited. Thank you to those of you all who have already signed up. You can go to booking, BOOKING at therealchatdaddy.com. Shoot me over an email. This is done virtually, and you'll have a great time. I promise you that. We'll talk about a lot of different things. We will.
And I say for those that really, truly are very serious about this direction, this man has over a couple of decades of experience, And if you didn't know, now you know. You better ask somebody.
Right.
He has been on radio, on TV. He has literally met everybody that is anybody. Just check his website. Look at the pictures.
Right. And you know, a lot of people, Ryan Cheverini and I were talking backstage earlier, and he said, Chat Daddy, your Black History Month picture is just incredible. And what people don't realize is everything has a backstory. So that's why I am now posting pictures of the backstory. And it's not negative or bad or trying to hurt people or be deceitful, but everybody has a backstory. I met a young Jamie Foxx fresh off the Greyhound bus here in Chicago at the back door of the Chicago Theater. And he was trying to get in that evening, and I was the gatekeeper.
Woo! Woo! If that's not a story, wow. Yes. Woo! And if you did not, where will we know his name?
Oh, that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting me meeting him like that in that
exactly.
Shows, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Yes. No, he had just gotten to Chicago and he was trying to get into the Chicago theater. So it's a lot of backstories.
I love it.
Of people with rich backstories. And oftentimes we think the backstories are and all that. Ain't no. The backstories are really where did you come from? How did you meet them? All of that. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was on a plane one time from New York to LA. And the entire time I'm sitting here laughing and talking with the lady, laughing and talking. I knew she was a beautiful lady, all of that. When I got to LA and got into the car that was waiting on me, I looked at her business card and I said, oh, and I said, wow. And I said, I just met on the plane. And the limo driver turned around and he said, you met? I said, absolutely. I said, we sat next to each other in first class. He said, you've got to be kidding. Come to find out the woman was a world famous porn star, and I had no idea.
Stop.
I had no idea. I knew she was fabulous and I was fabulous.
Okay.
We was drinking champagne. That's all I know. And we laughed and talked cross country. That's all right. I thought her boobs. Look, I thought her girls were sitting up nicely and all that, but look, who am I to judge? Look, you in first class, I'm in first class. Yeah, bring us another cocktail and some hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
Right.
People are people. And for those of us that just love people, we see people as what? Human beings, right? Not the other stuff, not what's on the outside, not what other people may judge you or how other people may judge you. I see you and I see it because it's all beautiful, but I see you as a human being, and that's how I respond to you. So I'm right there with you. I'm right there.
Well, coming up Monday night on the Real Chat Daddy show, I have two amazing women that we will be honoring. We have a Hollywood actress that will be stopping by who is doing just a lot of great things to help people in this country and in this world. And then we also have a famed singer who will be stopping by. And this famed singer has been raising money to help people during this pandemic because entertainers have been out of work and entertainers are still out of work. And we're dealing with just so many issues and problems. I don't care if they do open places back up. People are not asking for the same people back. They moving around. Like the kids said in the hood, they moving it around, boo.
That's right.
So that's how it all works. So listen, you guys, if you did not catch me on Windy City Live earlier today, you can always go back. I'll be back on at midnight. That's Windy City Live at midnight, 12 a.m. So Friday morning, ABC 7 Chicago. Chat Daddy on Windy City Live. Please check it out. ABC 7 Chicago is their website as well. Dion, we did not do our mask demo. That's what keeps us a health and wellness show. So we want to remind you guys before we get out of here to please wear your mask. Make sure you cover your nose and your mouth. This mask says, hello, my name is Chat Daddy.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
My name is Chat Daddy. Yes.
This is retro since music is in my DNA. So these are all records. So this is the vinyl mask.
Oh, boy, I like that. And then my other mask says I'm an icon.
I love it. I love it.
Somebody says I'm an icon, and I believe
I love it.
Yes, it's better
my
than.
other one is a straight up medical mask. Yeah, no.
Okay, yes. I'd rather be an icon than an emoji. So
Yeah, right.
I'm an icon. I'm an icon. So please make sure you wear your mask, cover your nose and mouth. It's very important that you cover your nose and mouth. Wash your hands as often as you can. If you don't have water and soap to wash your hands, we ask that you please use sanitizer. On this show, we consider ourselves sexy sanitizers. So we rub our hands and we smile and we wink. And oh, go on, Dion, put a little shimmy. Go on, shimmy while you do it. Shimmy, why don't you? Shimmy, why don't you? Yeah, do a little shimmy. Yes, I love a good shimmier. I do. Social distance, as we always do on this show, we're all former flight attendants. We do 6 feet this way, 6 feet this way, and 6 feet that way. That also is emergency exit evacuations. I'm feeling good tonight. I am.
Look, I'm telling you, man.
Amen. Yes. And also, if you're not feeling well, keep your ass in the house. That's what we say on this show, and we mean it. Everybody who's been on this show, I don't care, black, white, whatever, they all touch and agree and say, that's right. Keep your ass in the house if you're not feeling well. Please. All right. Dion's, give us something. You know what you do. You give us something before you always leave us.
Well, you know, I always feel honored to be here, and this is my 11th time as co-host on the show.
Shut up. Get out of here.
11.
Oh,
11. It made me think of, you know, going back to like Sesame Street and like Electric Company when they would do those songs about, you know, numbers. Oh gosh, what was that song? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't remember. Anyway, 11, 12. I just remember that, the end of it.
Yeah.
I just remember the end of the counting song. I used to love that. But yes, it's my 11th time, so I am so always honored.
One more, and you get a dozen donuts.
Oh yeah, I don't need that.
One more. It's kind of like you buy 11, 12 cups of coffee.
Yes.
We're going to give you a free donut the next time you come.
Right.
We'll give you a box. We don't want to be chintzy.
Yes. So what I'm going to say, because, you know, I love promoting our work, black people, people of color. And if people did not get a chance to see that amazing documentary called Mr. Soul, it was on PBS a week or two ago, and it was an amazing documentary. So I would say go to pbs.org, see if it's still current. If not, you can find old episodes of Soul on YouTube, and it was technically the first talk show. So before Oprah, before Arsenio, there was Soul, and it came out of New York. And if you all didn't get a chance to see this doc that premiered in 2018, trust, you want to see it. And the score and the title song was written by Robert Glasper, who you all know I love, and it was sung by the fabulous Layla Hathaway, and it was called Show Me Your Soul. So I will just only sing the first line because I don't know all the words, but do you know who you are? Where you come from and what you possess. So now you have to go look for the song, because I'm sure just those couple of bars made you want to find it.
Oh, that's fabulous. It is. It really, really is. Well, Dion, you always do a great job. Tell Brother Gio he can always come back. Let him know that we did celebrate Fisk Jubilee Singers tonight. Tell him, you know, we're still on plan to help raise money, do whatever we can. And I love you. And you and I will catch up, and we will tiptoe through the tulips.
I love you. I hope you get some rest tonight, and we will gather again soon.
Yes. Like a baby elephant sleeping on a marshmallow.
I love that.
Wonderful night. I need that on a t-shirt, don't I? Because that is what it is. All right. So real quick, you guys, for more information about yours truly, please visit my website, therealchatdaddy.com. Everything that's there, it's all about me. It's the life that I've lived. So please go to therealchatdaddy.com for more information. If you're up this evening, please check out Windy City Live at midnight Chicago time. That would be early Friday morning, midnight, ABC 7 Chicago. Please support my girl, Miss Dion Nicole Smith at IMD House, Guest House. We just love IMD Guest House. They do a great job of helping those that are truly in need. Thank you to Brother Obba Babatunde. Obba Babatunde. He did an outstanding job. I almost couldn't get it out. He did a great job. I did. I'm just okay. We appreciate him so very much. And Dr. Toyin, she did a wonderful job as well.
Yes.
Put a lot on my mind tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Both of them dropped jewels of knowledge. And they were wonderful. And like you said, I feel blessed that living legend, that beautiful spirit, was kind enough to speak beautiful words to me. I felt honored. So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very good. And Chris Smith, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you. I enjoyed my first viewing of the Chat Daddy show this evening. Spread the word. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the Real Chat Daddy show. Tell your friends and family. Show has been on about a year, and I believe in doing things organically, and that's what we're doing. It does not have to be a million people to make noise. It has to be the right people. I have more A-list celebrities on this show than any other show you know. And people that pour into people, not people asking for anything, people that pour into people. That's what this show is all about. Positivity and pouring into people. All right, John, I love you. My marshmallow is waiting. So little Barbar is on his way to lay down because baby, I is tired. I'm
behind you, right behind you.
Yes, darling. All right, Chris. She said she will continue, and please spread the word about
Chris.
Yes, Renee and Miss Kim, Sister Girl Speaks. They do their Friday night women's show on Facebook. Make sure you guys check them out, K&K, on all social media platforms. And we wish them luck on their show tomorrow night. All right, Dion, I love you, darling. See you later, baby. Be well, my love. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Why am I turning into Pepe Le Pew? And that's the wrong.
It's right. Girl, it's okay. It's all beautiful, right? Praise you.
I'm so upset about Pepe Le Pew. You know what I'm saying? Pepe, to me, taught me how to be romantic. I mean,
I love some Pepe Le Pew.
Girl, that's a whole nother show. Okay, right. We'll talk. Because you'll have me talking in my sleep tonight now. Right, because I'm just crushed. Like, Pepe Le Pew? We trying to cancel Pepe? I think we taught so many of us how to Mac. Right. I would have no mapping skills if it wasn't for Pepe Le Pew. And I didn't know he was being, I thought that's what we were supposed to do. Courts. Okay. All right.
Yeah, right. We don't even need to go there.
I can get me a glass of wine. Good night. We love you all so very much. Be safe. Be well. God bless you all. We'll talk to you Monday night. Bye.